Hello everyone and welcome back to my art channel. The other day I felt a very strong motivation to do some digital painting, and I also felt absolutely zero inspiration for what exactly to paint. And so one of the things that I really like to do when I'm experiencing that sort of thing is reference studies. And so here are the 3 reference studies that I did, and I wanted to talk a little bit about using reference studies, doing reference studies. So here we go. So all 3 of the studies that I did, I used photos from Pinterest. I really like Pinterest as a source for reference photos for studies because there's a good variety of pictures. You could see all types of different people, poses, makeup looks, close-ups, wide shots, landscapes. There's really whatever you want to practice painting or drawing, there's stuff there. So usually when I'm looking for references for practice, Pinterest is the first place that I go. And I mean, at this point, I don't even need to key in a search term all the time. My home feed has just been curated from all of the times that I've used it for reference with pictures that I already find aesthetically pleasing. So I just click on that and I sort of let myself go down the rabbit hole of like visually similar images from that to find the one that I want to paint. And that's how I found these 3 images. And what I wanted to focus on with these 3 studies in particular was I really just wanted to hone in on a specific facial feature. The first one was an eye, the second one is a pair of lips, and then for the third one I really wanted to focus on the nose, but I couldn't find a picture of just a nose for whatever reason, so I included the eyes in that one too, which you will see in a bit. And so I wanted to focus on individual facial features and finding the shapes in those features and how they relate to the other parts, how they relate, how do I words? I really wanted to find those shapes and basically how they fit in together, I guess, in these little individual components of the face. And I also wanted to focus on light reflections and glitters. You'll notice there is a bit of glitter in all 3 of these studies, in the photos and in my practice, because that's something I don't get to render too often, and I like to. It's fun. Yeah, so that's where I wanted to go with these studies. There are a variety of reasons why an artist might want to do photo reference studies and should do photo reference studies, especially if you're working on realism, or even if you're not, even if you are wanting to stylize things, it is good to use photo references just so your techniques have a basis grounded in reality. It overall gives your images a much nicer feel, a much better look in the end, even if you do end up squashing or stretching the proportions and adding all these details that you wouldn't normally find in real life or whatever. It's good to have that foundation. And so like for me, I've never been interested in realism as a final product. Any finished images, finished paintings I do, I'm not really looking for them to be hyper realistic. I'm not looking for that I'm not looking for that effect of, oh, is that a painting or is that a photograph for final pieces. But for little studies like this, I do want to make it look as close to the photo as possible so that I can practice rendering techniques and just painting techniques in general those are really good to get a hang of. And I definitely, for this batch of studies, I definitely feel like a few concepts really sunk in to me that I hadn't really grasped before. I think especially with the painting of the lips. I think my favorite out of this batch is the lips, because I think I finally kind of got a hold of realistic teeth and ambient reflections, I think is the term. I don't know. There's just this little bit of reflection from the teeth onto the glossy inner parts of the lips that if I were doing an entire image, even if it was based on a reference, I probably wouldn't have paid enough attention to that detail to have noticed. But because I was really just honed in, focusing on this one part of the face, I really saw all the details. That's something that I think is really important in these reference studies, is finding a small part, focusing on the details that you might otherwise miss if you were using a larger, more complicated reference. So I think by focusing in on just these lips and not worrying about any other parts of the face or the body or anything, I was able to really click into what techniques to use in order to achieve certain textures and certain looks. And I'm really happy with that. And now that I kind of have a sense of how to achieve like that glossy look and the ambient reflections on a glossy surface, now I can apply that to other pieces, maybe without using reference, or using reference that doesn't quite match up to what I want the final product to look like, because now I've seen that and I've practiced it and I can add it to my little visual library of knowledge of how to do these things, which is really great. So I suppose I should talk a little bit about the methods and techniques I used to do these studies. So obviously this was done in Photoshop. I did them all on one layer. Well, each drawing was its own individual layer, but I did each study itself on a single layer, laid down the background, and then blocked in the features and refined from there. I was using the Kyle T. Webster brushes that come with Photoshop CC, and I mostly used a gouache brush and a pencil, and I don't remember exactly which ones, but yeah. And then another big thing that helped a lot was the smudge tool. I definitely use the smudge tool a lot when I'm painting. And I kind of switched off between a smooth smudge and kind of a gritty textured smudge, depending on the effect that I was going for. And for the skin, it definitely helps to have kind of a gritty, more textured smudge, just so that you can kind of get those pore type details in there and make it look more like actual skin. I also, for the most part, kept the transparency of the layer locked so that I could go all the way to the edge and keep it contained within the little box that I was drawing in. And as you can see, I had the reference image right next to the image that I was drawing, just to keep them like on the same plane so things didn't get distorted. Yeah, so that's what I did. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to see more, and have a great rest of your day. Bye!